Lux presents Hollywood. The Lux Radio Theater brings you Cary Grant, Carole Lombard, and Kay Francis in the play In Name Only. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. In Name Only is a play in name only. It's the kind of drama that may be happening to real people right now. Its three-cornered love story is so true to life that I should remind you that our characters are fictional. Those who saw the RKO screen production of In Name Only will think of it in terms of 3 stars. And we have them all with us tonight. Cary Grant, Carole Lombard, and Kay Francis. As producer of the Lux Radio Theater, I want to thank you all for making casts like this possible. Thousands of you write that in order to show your appreciation, you buy Lux Flakes regularly. This is a loyalty which will be twice repaid. First, by our continued efforts to give you a fine performance here in the Lux Radio Theater. And second, by the splendid performance Lux Flakes will give you in your home. In Name Only is a drama of 3 very modern people. Beneath the veneer of civilization, basic emotions still govern the lives of human beings. But when this veneer of manners and conventions is torn aside, as in tonight's drama, we have a story of almost primitive conflict, involving 3 powerful personalities, 1 man and 2 women. To his wife, Alec Warren is bound by ties that even her selfishness and insincerity have not broken. To Julie Eden, Alec Warren is bound by a tie of love, which makes no demands. I wish we could take credit for the fine diplomatic stroke of getting these 3 busy stars together again. But this is the way it happened. We received a very polite letter from Carole Lombard. She was sorry to complicate matters, she said, but this week was the only week she could do the play. The next day, we received identical letters from Cary Grant and Kay Francis. Definitely a plot, to which we became the willing and happy victims. Now our 3 stars are on the stage, and the curtain's about to go up on Act 1 of In Name Only, starring Carole Lombard as Julie Eden, Cary Grant as Alec Warren, and Kay Francis as Maida Warren. On the banks of a gently flowing stream in Connecticut, a girl stands knee-deep in water, wielding a fishing rod. We say wielding, for by no stretch of the imagination could it be called fly casting. Her line tangles in the branches overhead, in the bushes behind her, and in every submerged log in the stream. From the opposite bank comes a man on horseback. He appears just in time to catch the hook on the brim of his hat.
Whoa, whoa, boy. Easy, boy. Oh, good morning. Say, you want to be careful where you throw that thing.
Would you mind returning my hook, please?
Of course. I'm afraid I'll have to get off. King is nervous with strangers. Well, here you are. My name's Warren.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You know, you won't catch anything that way.
Well, I might.
No, not any fish.
Well, I'm not trying to catch any
Oh,
fish.
sorry. Huh?
I'm only doing this for exercise, a test for keeping my temper.
Well, it's lucky you weren't trying to catch any fish.
Oh, yes, why?
Because I hate to tell you this, there haven't been any fish in this stream for 20 years.
Well, why didn't you tell me that in the first place?
I didn't want you to stop. I liked watching you. How about a cigarette?
No, thanks.
Well, I don't want one either. Well, how about a sandwich?
I have some, thanks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. How about offering me one?
Oh, all right. Have a sandwich.
Thanks. Say, you certainly got enough of them. Are you expecting company?
No, I have a big appetite.
Good. I like people with big appetites. Hey, by the way, I haven't seen you around here before. How is that?
I haven't been around here before.
Oh, well, I can't sort of. What's your name?
Julie Eden. And I'd like one of my sandwiches, please.
Oh, sorry. Well, what do you do, Miss Eden? I mean, do you do something for a living?
Well, I'm what's called a commercial artist. I design clothes for women and draw for fashion magazines.
Oh, that's so. Do you like it? Do you make a lot of money?
Well, enough. I support myself and my daughter.
Oh, you have a daughter, huh? How old?
6 going on 7.
That's right. What's your husband like?
He died 4 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now, look, do you do any drawing besides what you do for magazines?
Well, a little. Not bad, not good.
Bring some of your sketches tomorrow, will you?
Tomorrow?
Yes, like to see them.
All right. But I can't be here unless I bring my daughter.
Well, don't come without her.
I'd like you to meet her. I think you might like her.
I'm sure I will. She like you?
Not a bit.
Well, I'll probably like her anyway, huh? Your daughter's a sound sleeper, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. Too much lunch, I guess.
You think I ought to cover her up?
No, she's all right. Oh, it's been a lovely day.
Yes, swell. Say, do you realize we've been sitting here over an hour without talking?
Oh, well, that's all right, isn't it?
Sure, it's fine.
You know, conversation is a nervous habit with a lot of people like smoking.
Yeah? The kind of people who say, but definitely.
Yes,
but
and too divine.
Mm-hmm.
And she couldn't be more attractive, those people.
Yeah. Well, come on, let's sort of make a pact. I don't think we need a pact, but it might come in handy sometime. Now, let's not ever say, a penny for your thoughts, huh?
All right.
All right, and let's agree not to talk merely for the sake of talk, huh?
Oh, I like your talk, all right.
Well, oddly enough, I like the kind of talk I have with you.
Oh, thank you. But right now it's time for Ellen's bath. You drive us home?
That was the intention. Hey there, Ellen. Come on, wake up.
Oh, hello. I had a nap, I guess.
You sure did. You slept like a log.
Well, how does a log sleep?
Well, she defeats me again.
Oh, we won't go into that now, darling, because Mr. Warren is going to drive us home in his carriage.
You're not supposed to call him Mr. Warren, Mother. He wants you to call him Alec.
That's right.
And Mother wants you to call her Julie. I heard her say so.
I guess you did. What else did you hear?
Oh, nothing. After that, I went right to sleep.
Well, you're a very nice little girl. And just for that, I'm going to let you hold the reins.
Well, that was the intention.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Nice driving, Ellen.
Oh, thank you a lot, Alec. It's been grand. Ellen, run along and tell Aunt Laura you're back for your bath.
Oh, all right. Do you want to come in and watch, Alec?
No, not right now.
Well, all right. Bye.
Bye. She's a nice kid.
Oh, my sketchbook. Are you through with it?
I'll give it to you tomorrow. I want to look at it again, see if you really are any good.
Oh, all right.
See you tomorrow.
Yes, at 4 o'clock.
Right.
Julie,
Hello, Laura.
I saw you drive up. Who was that man?
Oh, just somebody I happened to meet. Name's Warren. What have you been doing all afternoon?
What have you been doing?
Oh, fishing.
I don't see any fish. Is that all you were doing?
Oh, no, there was lunch. Well, you know.
Yes, I know.
All right, I picked him up, or he picked me up. I'm not sure which. Anyway, it was all pretty raw. I shouldn't be surprised if he drank, or even worse.
Julie.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling, but you're always so suspicious. You see a man, you immediately think, oh, well, you know.
You can talk. You were lucky. Your husband died while you still had faith in him. If he'd lived a little longer, maybe you'd have had your eyes open the way mine were.
Look, Laura, other women have had to divorce their husbands just as you did Phil, and for the same reason. They've managed to keep their sense of proportion. Phil left you, and you let him go. But you didn't let him go, really. You kept clinging to him in your mind. You're sort of haunted, and you keep seeing ghosts.
Oh, you don't know what men are. You don't know anything about them.
Well, I was married, wasn't I?
Well, it didn't teach you anything. Underneath, you're still just as romantic and full of illusions as any schoolgirl.
Oh, what's wrong with romance? And what's wrong with illusions if you can keep them?
Well, perhaps you'll find out someday, Julie.
Evening, Mr. Warren.
Evening, Carl. Walk him around a little, will you? We've been going pretty fast.
Yes, sir.
Alec, wait.
Oh. Hello, Suzanne.
Hello, where have you been? Maida's been entertaining.
Yes, I know. Everybody gone?
I'm the last, except your mother and father. Really, Alec, you should have been here. Maida's been making all kinds of excuses
look,
for you.
Suzanne, can I get your car?
Well, you at least might stay and talk to me a minute. The only reason I came to your dull party was to see you.
Well, here I am.
Alec, I'm dining out tonight, but... Well, I could manage to get away early.
No, afraid not, Suzanne. I'm all booked up.
Don't tell me you're staying home. Won't Maida be surprised?
Goodbye, Suzanne.
Bye, darling.
Nevertheless, he ought to be here.
Richard, please, don't excite yourself.
Good evening, Dad.
Well, good evening, Alec.
How is my very nice mother? Huh?
Oh, Alec, it's good to see you.
Well, how are things in the office, Dad?
If you'd come into town once in a while, you'd find out. Didn't you know Maida was having some people here this afternoon?
Well, you know how I feel about parties, Dad.
I'm afraid I don't. You've been acting very strangely lately.
Have I?
Now, look, Alec. Your mother and I have been worried about you. Isn't there something... Well, you used to confide in me, you know, and here lately I feel that...
No. There's nothing, Dad.
Very well. But we don't spend many weekends with you. You might have arranged to be here today.
I'm sorry.
Alec, darling, you're back.
Hello, Maida.
Maida, I don't see where you get all your patience. Any other wife would be telling him just what she thinks of his rudeness.
Well, I don't happen to be any other wife. I'm Alec's wife. Aren't I, darling?
Yes. Excuse me, will you?
There. That's what I mean.
Please, Dad. It's quite all right.
He's acting like a spoiled child. I wouldn't stand...
Richard, you're only making things worse for Maida.
Don't worry. I'll speak to Alec. I'm sure it's nothing.
Well, I hope so.
Alec. That wasn't very nice of you, Alec.
I know it.
As for your not showing up this afternoon, all I want to say is that I understand perfectly.
Understand what?
If you don't like parties, there's no reason why you should put yourself out to come to them. I don't blame you in the least.
It's marvelous. Even when we're alone, you can do it.
Do what, dear?
Make it look as if I'd beaten you. And make me feel that I want to.
Where are you going?
I'm going out.
For dinner?
Yes.
But, Alec, your mother and father...
Wait a minute. One scene's enough, isn't it? Why should there be more? Dad's sure to try getting down to cases, and you know how down he can get. He might even find out the truth. You wouldn't want that to happen, would you?
The truth, Alec?
Yes, about us. That this beautiful marriage of ours isn't quite so beautiful as he likes to think.
He wouldn't believe it, dear.
You've attended to that, haven't you? Good night.
More coffee, Mr. Warren?
No, thanks, Tony. Check, please.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Hello. Dining all alone again, darling?
Hello, Suzanne.
Surprise?
Not very. How'd you know I was here?
I saw your car parked outside. I told you I had to see you.
Well, now that you found me, what about it?
Honestly, Alec, you're so direct.
Well, you're not exactly oblique yourself. You'll excuse me, won't you, Suzanne? I've got to go.
Alec, wait. I sent my car home, darling. I'm afraid you'll have to take me.
Oh, I see. All right, come on.
Thanks, darling. Alec, will you please turn the radio off?
Why? I like it.
Alec, what's the matter with you? Don't you care for me at all? I mean, not even the littlest bit? Of course, I might be able to understand if you were in love with Maida. But of all the shams I've seen, that's about the worst. Alec, I asked you to turn that thing off.
Sorry?
Then I will.
Now, listen, Suzanne, I want it on.
Let go of that switch.
Suzanne, if you don't... Now, move over there.
Get away. I tell you what... Oh, Alec! Look out! Let go! Alec!
Yes?
Oh, please, there's been an accident. Could you help me? I think he's dead.
Well, where is it?
Just down the road.
Julie, what is it? An accident. Hurry, Laura. Bring some bandage.
There he is. There.
Well, give me that flashlight.
Here, Julie.
Why, it's Mr. Warren.
Oh, thank heaven he's still alive. I was so frightened. We'll have to get a doctor. Have you a phone?
Yes, on the table, just inside the door.
Well, I wonder if you'd mind phoning. There's a doctor at Mr. Warren's house, Dr. Grayson. He's staying there. It's sort of embarrassing. I mean, it was perfectly innocent, of course, but... Well, Mr. Warren's wife is my best friend, and...
His wife?
Well, yes, there might be some talk. So would you mind very much?
No, of course not.
Oh, the number is Darien 58396. And I think it would be better if you didn't mention my being here. Just to avoid any complications. You do understand, don't you?
Yes, it's not very difficult. Call right away.
I think you'll be all right, Maida. Just a few scratches, that's all.
Thank you, Dr. Grayson. May I see him now?
Certainly. Make him rest if you can.
I will. Good morning, Alec.
Morning.
Well, you certainly were lucky, weren't you?
Yes, I suppose so.
Alec, you must realize that things have been pretty difficult for me for some time.
Oh, I know that you feel I've failed you in certain ways, but it doesn't seem to me that you've done much to help.
Mm-hmm.
And now, well, I've tried not to complain. I don't want to complain. But there is a limit.
Meaning?
Miss Eden.
Well, how do you know about Miss Eden?
Her sketchbook was in your car. It was all pretty plain, Alec.
Oh, no. You're barking up the wrong tree, Maida. I wasn't out with Miss Eden, though I wish I could have been.
And just whom were you out with?
Your dear, and as she insists, your very best friend, Suzanne.
Don't be childish, Alec. Suzanne phoned an hour ago saying that she just heard about the accident and wanted to know how you were.
Did she really? Wait a minute. Was Miss Eden at the accident?
You know she was. It was she who called Dr. Grayson.
Oh. Well, will you excuse me, Maida? I've got to go out.
To see Miss Eden?
To see Miss Eden.
This is a new development, isn't it?
What?
Well, you can see what it makes me. You're running around with that sort of woman. After all, people in our position can't afford...
Wait, Maida. Do you realize what our position is, yours and mine?
I wish you wouldn't try to change the subject.
You said you loved me when you married me, didn't you?
Yes.
It wasn't true, was it?
Of course it was.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember Larry Stoughton?
What?
I said, do you remember Larry Stoughton?
Why, yes.
Do you remember what happened to him?
He died, didn't he?
How?
I don't know, really, Alec.
He shot himself.
Well?
You know why?
How should I?
He shot himself while you and I were on our honeymoon.
I suppose you're going to say he did it because of me.
Didn't he? Listen to this letter. I've been saving it. Larry, darling, I love you and I always will love you. But this is the only way for me. Yours, Maida.
Where did you get that?
If you must know, his mother sent it to me. You see, he was her only son and she was bitter.
All right. It's true. I did love him. I was mad about him. What of it?
How could you do it?
I had a choice. I could take Larry and love and nothing else. Or I could take you and what went with you. I took you.
Well, at least we know where we stand. Both of us.
Alec, I hope you don't think that my having told you this will condone anything you might do.
I intend to see Miss Eden whenever and wherever I can.
Does that mean that you think you're in love with her?
I don't know. But it means that she's the first person I've met in 2 years who's been able to make me feel like a human being again.
Oh.
Oh, hello, Julie. Here's a sketchbook. I liked them.
Did you?
Yeah. Say, it must have been quite a mix-up last night. I wish I hadn't slept through it all. Incidentally, it was darn nice of you to cover up for Suzanne. Mrs. Duros, you know?
No, that's all right.
Well, look, Julie, don't get the wrong idea about last night, will you? The whole thing was an accident. Not only to the car, but my being with Suzanne. She was the accident.
Something for you to tell your wife, isn't it? It has nothing to do with me.
Oh, but it has. You see, you and I were getting to be good friends. I don't want that spoiled.
Well, there's nothing to spoil. We had a lot of fun, and that's all. That was yesterday, and it's over.
Oh, no, it's not over. Listen, it was more than just fun, Julie. To me, anyway, I want you to know that.
Was it? Well, I'm sorry. To me, it was just one of those things.
Well, that's not true.
Well, there's no point in arguing about it. I've got to go now. Do you mind? I'm terribly busy.
You don't want to see me again, is that it?
Oh, of course not. We'll probably run into each other. People usually do in the country, but I don't think there'd better be any more picnics. Goodbye.
During this brief intermission, before Mr. DeMille brings back Carole Lombard, Cary Grant, and Kay Francis in Act 2 of In Name Only, we're going to turn the microphone over to Libby Collins, our favorite screen reporter, who has some new Hollywood fashion news for you. What's new in Hollywood fashions, Libby?
Fashion in the world of sports, Mr. Ruick. California takes up ice skating.
Combining our balmy weather with all the fun of a real old-fashioned winter. Is that the idea?
Yes, sir. And down in the tropical ice gardens, you'll see half of Hollywood skating for a fall any day. In the most luscious-looking costumes, too.
Oh, so that's it. You might know clothes were behind this new sports development.
Well, we're not going to be cheated out of the fun of wearing all the lovely new woolens. You should see the stunning cable-stitch sweater Anne Shirley's been wearing. It's wine-colored, and she's got a pair of embroidered mittens to go with it. They're the cutest things this side of heaven. And the other day I saw Ellen Drew skating in a perfect honey of a jacket. There were big white snowflakes embroidered on it, and she was wearing the grandest pair of white woolly mittens I've seen in a long time. They were so soft and cozy.
The way I like my socks to be in the wintertime. Believe me, it's no fun wearing woolens that are shrunken.
Imagine having fun skating in a pint-sized sweater or socks. There's no excuse for that when Lux Flakes are so easy to use and so inexpensive. Leading motion picture studios use Lux Flakes for sweaters. In fact, for all washables. Just as clever women do here in Hollywood and everywhere else for that matter.
You're right, Libby. If you're going in for all the gay new woolens this year, be sure to keep a good supply of Lux Flakes in the house to give them the right kind of care. More than 2,000 stores have advised their customers to use Lux because it's so safe. Lux has no harmful alkali. And, of course, with Lux, there's no cake soap rubbing to hurt any color or fabric that's safe in water alone. So use this gentle care for all your washables. Your house dresses, stockings, underthings, your woolens, sweaters, and printed silks. Ask your dealer tomorrow for the generous large-size box of Lux Flakes. Lux is so pure, a little goes a long way. Lux is thrifty. Now our producer, Mr. DeMille.
Act 2 of In Name Only, starring Cary Grant as Alec Warren, Carole Lombard as Julie Eden, and Kay Francis as Maida Warren. Convinced that Julie Eden was with her husband on the night of the accident, Maida Warren has come to the cottage to call on her. Of course, there's nothing but friendship in Maida's smile as Julie meets her at the door.
Hello. Miss Eden, isn't it?
Well, yes.
How do you do? I'm Mrs. Warren.
Oh, well, come in.
Thank you. I brought you some flowers, Miss Eden. A little appreciation for your kindness. A bit late, I'm afraid.
They're lovely. Thank you.
You must have thought me very rude, not having called before to welcome you to the neighborhood.
You're very kind.
Are you staying all summer?
Well, another month or so, then I'll have to go back to New York.
So soon? Oh, and that reminds me. I'm giving a little garden party next Thursday. I'd like very much to have you come.
Well, thank you, but you see, between my work and the house here, I don't have much time.
Oh, I'm sure that you could arrange it.
No, really, I'm afraid...
Please, you must come. I'll send the car for you about 3. We're going to be good friends. I know we are.
Thank you.
Not at all. Goodbye, Miss Eden.
Oh, Maida.
Yes, Dr. Grayson?
May I see you for a moment?
Of course. What is it, Doctor?
Maida, why do you insist on entertaining when you're not up to it?
Oh, dear. Am I in for another lecture?
Did those powders I gave you help you at all last night?
Not very much. I guess by now I'm a little self-conscious about trying to get some sleep.
What's worrying you, Maida? What's on your mind?
Now, there's nothing wrong, Dr. Grayson. Really. I'm just a little nervous and upset.
What about?
Oh, you doctors. The moment that one...
Is it Alec? Is it, Maida?
Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Tell me about it.
He wasn't alone that night of the accident. That girl, that Miss Eden was with him.
How long has this been going on?
Oh, I don't know. Weeks, I guess. He never comes home anymore. Stays out till all hours
You talked with him?
What could I say? I don't want to be a nagging wife.
What did he say?
He said, I'll see Miss Eden whenever and wherever I can.
Have you told his father?
Of course not. They wouldn't believe it of their own son, and anyway, I wouldn't want them to know. Only he's getting so bold about it. I'm afraid they're bound to find out now. I could stand it for myself.
That's where you're wrong, Maida. You can't stand it yourself. There's no reason why you should. I'm going to tell his father now.
Dr. Grayson.
I'm sorry, Maida.
Please.
But I'm only doing what I know is best for you.
Julie! Julie!
Oh, hello.
What are you doing here?
Didn't your wife tell you I was coming?
What? Maida invited you?
Of course. You don't think I go around crashing garden parties, do you? Where is she?
Now, wait a minute. There's something funny about this, Julie.
Miss Eden.
Oh, good afternoon, Mrs. Warren.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Oh, this is Mrs. Warren. Alec's mother.
How do you do?
And Mr. Warren.
How do you do, Mr. Warren?
Miss Eden, did you say?
Yes, the The young lady who was so kind to Alec the night of his accident.
Yes, Dr. Grayson told me. Really, Alec, I'm a little surprised at you.
What are you talking about, Dad?
I think you might have shown better taste than to bring her here.
Julie, you'd better leave.
Isn't it too late for that?
Now, just a minute. Maida, tell them you asked Julie to come.
But I did. She came on my invitation. Really, she did.
You don't have to lie for him anymore, dear.
But she did invite me. I see. Excuse me.
Julie, wait.
Please let me go.
No, I want to talk to you.
But I don't want to talk.
Sorry, Julie, but I've got to. There's a lot you have to know, and I might as well start now. She invited you there to make my father think I'd brought you, Julie. The wronged wife. There's nothing new with her. She's been doing it for years.
I didn't know there were women like that in the world. But I'm glad it happened. It changes a lot of ideas I had about you.
I'm glad, too, dear. It brought us together again.
What?
Look, have you so many friends that you can't stand one more?
No, but I can't be friends with you.
Why not?
Oh, let's not talk about it.
Julie, I thought we were only going to say things we meant. Why can't we be friends? Why?
All right, because it wouldn't stay that way. With anyone else, yes, but not with you.
I love you, Julie.
No, you don't. You're lonely, unhappy. Any woman with a little kindness would...
Julie.
Oh, Alec. Alec.
Oh, I knew if I ever loved a woman, it would be like this.
No, but it can't be this way.
Julie.
It can't. I won't do it to any woman. I've got a sister whose home was broken up. I've seen her, and I know what it means.
But Maida never loved me.
Well, maybe she does in some way I don't understand.
Now, look, darling. Suppose there were no Maida. Suppose the first day I met you there had been no Maida.
But there is.
But if I were free...
Don't, Alec. Please leave me out of things. I'm leaving here. I'm going back to New York in the morning. Let's forget we ever met. Let's do anything. Anything not to get into something that'll hurt us all. Please, Alec.
All right. All right, Julie. Maida, I want to talk to you.
Well?
Maida, I've asked you several times for a divorce, and you've refused to give it to me. I'm not asking you now, I'm telling you. Either you get one or I will.
I don't suppose I need to ask why.
A dozen reasons, and you know all of them. But the most important reason is that I love Julie Eden. I'm going to marry her.
Marry her?
Yes, if she'll have me. I'm giving you the chance to do it the way that will be easiest for you.
Funny. I was so sure. I thought I could keep you somehow. I didn't care how I did it. And now I've lost. All right. I'll leave for Reno next week.
Mm-mm. Well, I must admit, I'd expected more.
More of a battle?
Yes.
Why? The battle's over. And now I suppose I ought to wish you both happiness. But I don't. I hope you'll be miserable.
Yeah, that's more like you.
No. No, I can't go to Reno. I won't make a gossiped holiday for my friends. I'll go to Paris. It can all be done quietly, and I'll stay abroad for a year after it's over.
No, you can't avoid talk if you go abroad alone.
I won't have to go alone. I'll go with your father and mother. They're leaving on Labor Day.
Well, they probably won't go when they hear about us.
But do they have to know just yet? Why couldn't I tell them after we get to Paris?
Because that's my job.
I know. But strangely enough, they consider me rather a satisfactory daughter-in-law. I'd like to be the one to tell them I haven't been.
But
Let me have some pride at least, Alec. It's little enough to ask.
All right. All right, if that's the way you want it. But understand, Maida, I don't intend to let anything interfere.
I'm selfish in a lot of ways, Alec. But even my worst